So in this video, I want to share a quick and easy way to write a good discussion chapter using ChatGPT. So by the end of this video, you'll understand how to do it because I'll share the exact prompts and the exact procedures for how to make sure that this discussion chapter is real and accurate. It actually reflects the literature in the field and specifically the literature that you have outlined in your literature review chapter. And then it's based on your results. So it's not hallucinating anything. And to make it more fun, we'll be using this actual published article so that I can compare the discussion chapter that ChatGPT gives me with the discussion chapter that we wrote, so I can confirm whether it actually makes sense. And before I start, I just wanted to let you know that I have several ebooks about using ChatGPT in different stages of the process of planning and conducting your research and writing your dissertation. For example, this ebook on how to use ChatGPT for thematic analysis, which has been a bestseller and people really love it, as well as this new ebook in which I share a whole bunch of prompts that you can use at different stages of writing your dissertation. At the time of recording the video, the ebook hasn't yet been published, but chances are when you're watching it, it probably already has. So check the links in the description. So as I said, we'll be using this published article. I want to write a discussion chapter for it. So first, before I start, just a quick word on what the discussion chapter is. I obviously have several videos about that, but it's probably, as I always say, the least clear and the most vague chapter of all chapters, but several things that have to be there. So the discussion chapter has to be based on your findings, on your results, of course. Then it absolutely has to talk about the literature, the previous literature in the field, because that's the whole purpose of the discussion chapter, to position your findings in the relevant literature, and the relevant literature is the one you previously outlined in your literature review chapter, because that's where you outline the relevant literature. And finally, it has to be, of course, relevant to your whole study and the aims of your study. And as I often say, the discussion chapter is like cooking with your ingredients. So if in the results chapter you're laying out all the ingredients in front of the reader, then in the discussion chapter you're letting them know what to cook with these ingredients. So these chapters complement each other. So the discussion has to be based on that previous literature that you also presented to the reader, so they know what's happening, and then it has to be based on the findings, on the results of your study. And the reason I'm outlining these things and reminding you of these things is because we have to follow that exact same structure if we want our discussion chapter written by ChatGPT to be accurate. So the best way to do this, rather than submitting or attaching or pasting the whole work, is to break it down into parts. You can, of course, paste it here. You can paste it. The way I did it is I copied and pasted these elements, so the background of my study and the research information and the focus of the study, and then the results, I broke them down into 3 text files. It's only because I couldn't conveniently copy and paste from the PDF reader that I'm using, so I decided to copy and paste in these text files first, but you can just directly copy and paste from whatever you're using. But I do believe that the best way to do it, to ensure accuracy, is to break it down, because the more information it's handling, the more likely it is to make mistakes. And now, as always, there are a few ways we can go about this. And if you've been following me, you know that the last thing I would want to do is just to fully rely on outsourcing the whole task to ChatGPT. But there are different needs, there are different people. I'm not here to judge, and you're in different situations. Maybe you're happy with that. Also different studies. So in my situation, and more often than not, what would probably happen, I would rather have some ideas generated first. And I would strongly recommend that you do the same thing. So just try to think about this discussion, because the discussion also, as I often say, is your chance to basically explain to the reader what you want them to understand, to explain why this study is important, whether you achieved the aims, whether you answered the research questions. So it's your chance to really showcase everything that's best about your study. The thing about ChatGPT and the discussion that it writes for us is that once it does it, then it's very hard to be objective. You're kind of biased because you keep these things in mind, and then you may even convince yourself that the ideas that you had before maybe are less sophisticated or sound less professional. So I would strongly recommend that you first come up with some ideas, rough ideas, before you outsource, before you ask ChatGPT to do it. And then a couple of things you can do as well. You can either just ask ChatGPT without influencing its ideas. You can ask it to generate this discussion and then perhaps compare it to your ideas, which is actually a nice way of validating these ideas. Or you can even write or list these ideas, if you have a rough idea, rough guide for what you want in the discussion, you can mention that in your prompt. So you can say, write me a discussion, repeat everything that I said here. So based on these on this literature, the findings, write me a discussion, and I want it to focus around this topic or that topic, or maybe at least you can say, I want you to list this topic among the topics of the discussion. So it's up to you. There is a lot of flexibility, but you can of course just see what happens, just ask it to write a discussion. And this is what I did here. So I just wanted it to write the discussion because I was curious for about just how good it would be at that, so how accurate. And sure enough, it wrote a discussion which to be honest, is not bad at all. So it's using the literature, it's talking about the different things to discuss based on the findings, on the results. So all these things are actually pretty true and accurate. Now it depends on what exactly I would want to discuss, but basically there are things about different attitudes, different beliefs, for example, about this, well, EMI is English medium instruction, so it's educational approach, but there was a lot about these different beliefs and attitudes. It was central to this study. There was a lot about the drivers. Again, this was one of the key things mentioned in the actual real discussion section. So it's really done a good job. And then it's asking me, as you can see, there's even talk about contribution to existing knowledge. There are things where, again, I would be less likely to trust it completely with these claims, so I definitely would want to run through these ideas myself. But then it's asking about implications, and then again, it's talking about different implications, most of which are pretty interesting and accurate. So again, nothing that stands out as completely ridiculous. I'd probably want a little bit more literature. Here I could add some more prompts, and obviously I can talk to it for the next half an hour and just talk to it about things I want added. I can tell it to add more support from the literature. I can tell it to remove some of these sections. I can tell it to merge it with the general discussion. So it really depends, but the point is it's pretty good. It's not bad at all. Then it also asked me separately if I want recommendations. I don't necessarily like it that much because it's all bullet points, but again, it's a matter of just asking it to change things if that's how you like them or prefer them. And then finally, remember that if it writes your discussion, what happens is that this text will get flagged as AI written because it wrote your discussion. So again, not something I encourage. I would encourage you to take these ideas and maybe reshape it or reframe it, rephrase it, and reword it. If you really want to use this, but then you obviously don't want to be flagged for AI generated content, then you have to know how to humanize it, how to reword it. It's not an easy task, but it's possible. Have a look at this video. You can watch it now. You can see it on your screen, in which I take you through all the steps and explain how AI generated content works and how to humanize it. So this way you can bypass all the AI detection tools. And finally, please like the video if you enjoyed it. It helps others find it on YouTube, and consider subscribing if you're new around here.